Do a leap and make them dance when they come on. Everybody looking for a dance for the
All right, we are here for our Facebook Live. Levity. Okay, welcome, everybody. We are super glad that you are here with us. And today, Karen and I are going to talk about what?
Holy shit!
I love it. So the interesting thing as coaches, don't forget to go ahead and tell us hello if you are here. We'd love to be able to see who we have on the call. But what we're going to talk about today is how life is made up of holy shit moments. And there are many different ways, right, that we could emphasize this, many different ways that we could say this. We could say things like, holy shit, I don't know how to do this. Or, holy shit, I get to do this, right? So it's going to go in different ways. But the interesting thing is Karen and I were reflecting on our whole coaching journey. So for those of you who don't know, I've been a coach since 2007. And Karen, what about you?
2010.
2010. So we've been coaching here for a long time. But I remember when I first thought about it, and I'm like, holy shit, is this something that I could actually do? Right? Is anyone going to, holy shit, is anybody going to hire me for this? Can I have a business? Could this really be what I'm looking for? And I remember, because I remember the day that I said, I'll go talk to my dad about it. And we were in the pool. We were in Branson, Missouri, of all places. But we were there and I'm like, Dad, I'm thinking about doing this and I'm not sure. And what do you think? And all of that. And I remember it was such a big decision. Fast forward. And then you go through a coach training program. And then you're like, holy shit, am I going to be able to coach? Or holy shit, I don't know more than 4 questions. Or holy shit, I really learned about myself, but I don't know how to coach. So many of those kinds of things happen as we go on with life, right? Then holy shit, can I do this in corporate? Can I do this with a team? Can I hit the next threshold? So what we want to know from you right now is, what is the HS moment you are having for yourself when it comes to coaching? The thing where you have a little bit of like self-doubt, like, holy smokes, is this even going to work? Can I even do this? Can I get out of my rut? How do I figure this out? Go ahead and type it into the comments and just share with us, what is the HS moment that you are having?
So it's funny, Jen. So I've had my holy shit moment, and throughout your life you have a bunch of holy shit moments. But regarding coaching, it was really funny for me. I was working as on a helpline for cops, and it was great. There's for cops in crisis, and some guy said, "Hey, you should be a coach." It's like, does it look like I want to put a whistle around my neck? And he says, no, a life coach. I was like, yeah, right. Like, let's do the kumbaya and meditate on top of a mountain with a goat. And I was like, yeah, not my thing. And he says, you could be a leadership coach or a business coach. I'm like, oh. And I'm like, let me scope that out. Let me check that out. And being the impulsive individual I am, I signed up for a program the next day. But I got to tell you, my holy shit moment, like, I've had confidence in myself to just sit here and say, hey, yep, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be successful at it. But my holy shit moment was more of I wanted to do it originally just to play golf more, right? It was just a part-time side hustle that I was just going to be like, yeah, you know what? I played golf 100 times a year. And this was just more for greens fees. And my holy shit moment was like, holy shit, like this is like a real big business now when Jen and I put things together. Needless to say, I don't even know the last time I played golf. And we're from where I started to where we are now, to just be able to say, hey, we train people from California to Kuwait. Like, those are some cool holy shit things.
I love it. We have some good ones coming in, and I'm seeing a theme here. So Melissa says, can I support my family? Like, holy shit, can I actually support my family doing this? And then Joanne also says the same thing, right? Is this ever going to become my main stream of revenue, right? So those are the moments of, of it. So one of the things to think about is how you then take that thought work, right? The TFAR, the thoughts create your feelings create your actions create your results. And doing this. So is it like, holy smokes, is this ever going to become my mainstream of revenue? Or holy smokes, this is going to become my mainstream of revenue. And so part of it is, where is the emphasis on the word? Where is it that you're putting the energy with it? It's holy smokes, Melissa, when you have a client and somebody who pays you, it doesn't even matter what the amount is. Let's say they pay you $1, right? It doesn't matter. Then also you say, holy smokes, I am supporting my family. I am doing this. I am making the great strides. So this is great. This is great. So go ahead, you guys, if other people who are joining and listening, if we just want to write in the comments, what are your holy smokes moments that you have going on for you? And do they excite you, or do they take away your energy? I thought you were going to say something, Kara.
Well, I can. You know what, Jen, actually, what you were just saying makes me think about what's the energy and the intention that you're putting out there, right? So you could have all the best intentions in the world, but you need action that is going to supplement those intentions. And because without action, it's not going to happen. I mean, you could sit here and say, hey, I want to be I don't know why it's popping into my head, a Major League Baseball player. But if you sit on the couch, you're never gonna be that, right? You need to learn how to play, right? You need to go to camps. You need to do all these different things. So you have to do something. So action needs to accompany those intentions. But then it's funny because it makes me think of this. I'm a David G fanatic. I love David G. He's a meditation guru guy. And he wrote this book called Unstressifying, great book. But one of the things he talks about is when you have conversations with people about bringing in the concept of remember when, right? And being able to say, hey, remember when I was just building my business? And hey, remember when I wasn't able to, do X, Y, and Z? And remember when I got that huge client? And remember when I my business took off? And remember when I was able to buy that Ferrari? And remember, like, all these things that you want to do, to put them in your head as a remember when, because your energy and your enthusiasm and your action really need to be in sync for all these things to happen. And I think one of the biggest things, Jen, we're going to talk about this in our Holy Shit series that we have coming up. But the big part of this is you need to get up and do something. You need to do something, because if you don't do anything, you're going to stay stuck. We're going to talk about ruts. We're going to talk about grooves. We're going to talk all about these amazing things in our Holy Shits here.
Yeah, I think that's really important, is that action needs to be there, right? So when we're getting nervous or we have fear, holy shit, it's like, oh my gosh, holy shit. What if no one hires me? What if I never become a better coach? What if I fill in the blank? When that happens, that's when action needs to follow immediately, to be able to say, okay, how do I close that gap of uncertainty, right?
Oh, go ahead.
I just have the other flip of it. Sometimes the HS is like, oh my God, holy shit, we just got this huge client. Or holy shit, we're going to cross this milestone mark. Or holy shit, we just hired our first employee, right? It doesn't matter what it is. Those moment of, I am impressing myself, right? Like, look at us and what we're building here. Like, not from a huge brag place, but just from a, wow, from the day in the pool with my dad to now, that holy smokes, look at all this. I just got emotional.
I know, that's why I was just quiet, to let you be emotional.
Yeah, which is interesting. So I didn't expect that. But the thing is that then it's about saying, all right, so looking at from an accomplishment, blowing your own mind perspective, what helped you get there? What did you believe in? What did you know to be true? What did you keep doing when you wanted to quit? What did you do that you didn't want to do, but you did it anyway? So all of this is about saying either what action do I need to take to close this gap, or what action have I taken, even when it's been hard, and to be able to get there.
You know, Jen, I think that a lot of this has to do with your mindset around it. So there was never a time when I was going through my coaching program that I didn't think it was going to work. Right? Like it just didn't come in my head. Like, okay, this isn't going to work. Like it was just like, okay, there's different avenues to go. Which way do I want to make it work? And I think that a really big thing, and it's funny because you said it before, right? Holy shit, I learned a lot about myself, but I don't know how to coach, was a theme that we've heard again and again and again from coaches. So what happens is, right, during, the leaving part of that, of that coach training program, it's constantly learning. But a big piece of that for me was I was never afraid that it wasn't going to work. And I would just go out there and I would try things, and I would do different presentations, and I would connect with different people, because you guys have heard this before, right? I wasn't attached to the outcomes, right? There's NATO jumping in all over the place. I'm not attached. I just get to go do this and have fun. And that's a big piece of it. My energy wasn't towards, oh my gosh, I need a client. Oh my gosh, I need this. It was, I get to do this and I want to do this. And I never had that, holy shit, I don't have any clients, because it was always, what's next? What's next? What's next? And by taking action. So you really, really need to just get off your ass.
I love it. Melissa typed in here and she said, I'm doing HR consulting to pay the bills, even though the projects aren't what I enjoy doing. I'm doing it to keep things going while I build up my coaching practice. So this is the fun part, right? So Melissa, I cannot wait for you to say, remember when I had to do the HR consulting in order to bridge the gap, and I no longer now have to do that. So that's a great remember when from the David G series Karen was talking about. The other thing is also, then how do you have gratitude for those projects, right? To say, I'm doing HR consulting because this is my bridge to get me where I want to go. I'm so grateful I have this. And then all of a sudden, that kind of helps too with that perspective of it. And then at some point, you're going to be, holy shit, what if it's time to go? So those are the interesting, fun moments to be able to have as you think through it. So Karen and I talked a little bit about what are some of the HS moments that coaches have and along the way. And so we put together a Holy Shit series where we're going to talk about 4 distinct moments, right? So the first moment, and it still happens for people, even if you've been coaching for a week or if you've been coaching for 5 years, it's the holy shit, I'm a coach and I only have 3 go-to questions and I'm in a rut, right? So it's when we all of a sudden have this, we're like, oh man, I just asked again, how does that make you feel? Or what are your values, right? So, and we find that we have crutch questions that we have, or we're going off of index cards, or we feel like we're in a rut and we haven't shaken things up. We have the perfect webinar for you as that. So that's the first part. I'm going to post. I'm going to post this. And did that just post it? It did post to the Facebook group. I think it did. There's a link there to sign up for the series if you want to. The second holy shit is, holy shit, I'm a coach and my coaching is transactional, not transformational. So this is about what we call putting Band-Aids on bullet holes, really focusing on action and not focusing on who the person actually is. So often when we distance ourselves from some of the learning that we've had, we realize that we're really just need to go to a deeper level. And then how does that work to transform not only individuals, but teams and leaders, etc. The next moment that we have people will tell us all the time is, holy shit, I'm a coach and I don't know how to coach the F out of my clients. And that stands for feelings. So really understanding that coaching feelings drives everything. You think you're coaching fear, which I guess fear is a feeling. But when people say they have fear, it's really a feeling that you should be coaching. And it's
Right.
not fear. What?
Right. Because what's the feeling that comes up with fear, right? What's attached to that? What are you afraid of, right? The worry, the sadness, whatever. But always, 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 it's going to be about that fear because they're afraid of feeling something. But I got to tell you, Jen, when that was one of our best things, right? Coaching the F out of your client. And I love that we're going to revisit that and coach the F out of your client again. And holy shit.
I love it. And then the last part of this series is holy shit, I'm a coach. And I don't have the tools to create long-term programs for teams, coaching, teams, organizations, and executives. So this series is going to go from August through November. It's one of the many, many, many things that we have on tap for you that we're going to be excited. And it's a free webinar series. So definitely sign up for that. And no matter if you've been coaching, like we said, for a week to 15 years, we have moments of all of these topics come up depending on where we are and what it is that we're doing. And I love this. Holy shit, you ladies are rock stars. So that's always fun to see. So definitely sign up for that. We have what's going to happen is we're going to be doing a Grand Slam big announcement on the 20th of this month to tell you not only in addition, that's a weird line, but not only with this series, but additional things that we have as part of our lineup that we'll want you to be a part of. That's going to come out on the 20th. And then each Monday, we're going to have a content-driven email that is going to take different concepts so that you can get a moment of Monday to be able to read through and apply what it is that's the theme for the week. We'll have videos, and then we're going to tie in these Facebook Lives. So there'll be mini micro learning week by week by week as well. So my question is, what is your excitement, holy shit moment that you can't wait to say out loud? Holy shit, I just closed X, Y, and Z. Holy shit, I just had somebody change their life around something. You know, whatever it is, let's hear from you. What are you ready to shout from the mountaintops in terms of excitement and energy around the thing that you are excited to accomplish? Go ahead and take a moment, type that in. Let's hear a few of those as we go on. It's so fun having the HS moments. I love the ones where I'm like, holy smokes, can I even do this? To be like, holy smokes, I did. Right? So it's so fun to see that, because not only does that show that we have the ability to go through uncertainty, but we do it again and again and again and again. And Heather Anderson would yell from the Canadian border down to us, Karen, to say, holy smokes, I have 5 new clients. I love it. Thank you for sharing, right? And then Melissa says she would yell, I helped my client uncover a limited pattern of thinking. Fantastic. Good. Joanne says, I am fully booked for the rest of the year. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Good. So then what are the actions that the 3 of you who have been playing along with us would take to make that happen? So how do you get fully booked through the end of the year? How do you take action to help your client for a limiting pattern? How do you get the 5 new clients?
Have a plan, but write it in pencil.
Yes, exactly. So I know there's a bunch of other people on this call too. Continue to put your comments in the comment fields. We will be coming back to check things out, but this is the time to really say, you get to define it. And with everything new, there is that moment of like, yikes. But how do you turn that yikes into a yowza? I said that to make you laugh, Kara. Is that all that you got?
That's all I got.
Okay, I just thought that was funny. All right.
That's funny. I was just waiting for you to mix a metaphor again today.
I know, I've been doing that a lot lately. But instead, I'll just take you guys out with a little bit more of levitating, and we will see you next Friday.
Bye, everybody.
Perfect time. You want me, I want you, baby. What you gonna do? I'm levitating.
Do it.
We're renegading. Yeah, 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 yeah. I got you.